Good morning. Morning, everybody. I hope you are well. This should have actually been done on the transformations page, but I'm doing it on here so people can see it. I will put it up on transformations later. So I'm hoping that I'm actually on the right page and I have not ended up on the right page. Please, I have a disclaimer. If you are not interested in your health, if you are not interested in well-being, if you're not interested in what I have become interested in, this is not a discussion. Sistako. Happy New Year. Layabaf morning. Happy New Year. Good morning. Sharif, good morning. This is a straightforward, I have 10 minutes on the clock. I am feeling the love. Thank you. This is not a discussion. No, I'm not discussing issues of national insecurity. I'm not discussing anything. I am actually discussing issues of personal safety, issues of personal security, aka your health. I am obsessed by it because I have been to the other side and back. I clearly do know what happens to you when you are careless. What happens when you are not careful enough? What happens when you think you are invincible? You are not. And in my struggles, I have learned a few simple things, very simple things. You can't take things for granted. You can't. You've got to be responsible for your choices. And I suppose those things are general concepts, general principles for life anyway. So, Ras, Kutuka. Yes, Sister Dakwa, we really need to talk. If you are back, it will be a great time to talk. Listen, if you've ever had a health scare, you would understand what I'm actually on about. Those of you who've had issues to deal with, those of you who've seen unpleasant symptoms, I'm discussing all sorts of things. There's a friend of mine who called me and he was explaining to me what diabetes has done to him at 43. What diabetes is doing to him at 43. So I asked him, well, are you type 1 or type 2? Shaba, good morning. He says type 2. I'm like, you know what? Type 2 is actually not proper diabetes. And he says, what do you mean? My symptoms are not funny. I'm like, I'm not addressing symptoms. People who are type 1 diabetics, they were born diabetics. They are genetically diabetics. Type 2 is lifestyle induced. Type 2 is principally the consequences of your choices or lack of them. Good morning, Edward. Type 2 usually is to do with the way you eat and what you don't eat. Type 2 diabetes is one that you inflict on yourself. It is not pleasant, and some of the symptoms are scary. The usual people know that hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia and the symptoms they have, those are not the only problem. It's the long-term damage. Long-term damage to circulation, long-term damage to most organs. And you can go for years without knowing. Usually when you find out, it is a very quick spiral downwards. But that's when you've hit that point. Benedicta, good morning. What is actually important is that we understand the basic principles. I was talking to a nutritionist this week and she says, you know what? She does not recommend for her clients to follow the same menu for 2 weeks in a row. Every week she gives them something else to eat, right? That's a lot of work. And she says, yes, because every fruit, every vegetable locks in something else. Every dish should have other things they bring to the table. What you ate yesterday is already circulating in your system and you need to add more. Because most of the things we have, most of our problems, and you will find a lot of communities, Afro-Caribbean communities, that's where I come from, so I can only tell you about that one. People in those communities tend to have deficiency diseases and we don't even know. Because we eat the same diets repeatedly. We have our staple foods, we like them, and we continue to eat them. If you are like us and you have a staple food and you like them and you continue to eat them, then you have two choices. Either you change that and you bring variety to your diet, or you go find supplements which can add in what you don't get from your staples. So I have chosen to go down the supplementing. No, it's not because I'm lazy. No, it's not because I don't like fruits and vegetables. I actually do love fruits and vegetables. I love, Utala, good morning. I love fruits and vegetables. I do love what it does to me. But I'm also honest and sincere. And I can tell you, even in the choices of fruits and vegetables, I always choose the same ones. Always. I like me some mango. So I will eat a lot of mango. But there is only a set amount of things I can get out of mango. What I can get from the green ones, I will not get out of mango. I'll go to the shop, I'll see all these beautiful fruits. I will not even choose the variety I need because some of them, they are alien to me. But the ones which are alien to me contain things that my body needs. We were made hunter-gatherers. We were not actually supposed to be living in a house. We were supposed to go around and find whatever and eat whatever. And if we stuck to those principles of hunting, gathering, we would be going around without knowing what exactly you would find to eat. And you would have eaten different fruits, different vegetables, different things each day. That's how we are actually designed to operate. And we need to understand this need. And so, regimenting what you eat, deciding to have a menu, and repeating the same menu for the same week, every week for the next 6 weeks is a problem. Because whatever deficits you had in week 1, would exaggerate themselves some more in week 2. It will begin to become an issue in week 3, by which week 4, it's a full-blown issue. You will begin to have deficits and you will have deficiency diseases. And again, deficiency diseases are lifestyle choices. They are self-inflicted and unnecessary. So what I decided was that I was going to go down the supplement route. But I do know that we do have natural supplements and we have synthetic ones. Some of them are steroid based. Wanted to avoid those. I had been described atorvastatin. I was not taking atorvastatin, sorry. I am too young to be on atorvastatin. Too young. And what atorvastatin does to me when I take them. Go have a look and see what anybody who's been prescribed statins reports online, and you will understand why me and atorvastatin were not friends. Atorvastatin and I, and anything which uses the same ingredients, they have different trading names, but we are not friends. But the reality is that I had created a problem. That problem was not going to go away. That problem needs to be fixed. Oheneba, I don't know. Who says I'm talking to Ghanaians? See the problem with your assumptions. You see your problem? My problem? Our problem? We all know how to make sweeping assumptions. Who says that I was talking to Ghanaians? And what makes you think I can't speak whatever language I want, even if I speak to Ghanaians? How many Ghanaians do you know speak a particular dialect? Do you know how many dialects we speak? And besides, it's my choice, my communication choice. You know? And sometimes you just need to respect that. You need to respect that. We have to be very careful with the way we speak in our community. Yeah, I am aggressively for our language, but it's not the only thing I speak. Sometimes, funnily enough, what you call the oppressor's language is the only universal language all of us understand. Yeah, Mr. Intelligence, you know what I respect and don't respect from listening to one conversation. Fine. It doesn't sound like I can save you. I don't have the energy, don't have the time this morning. So yeah, I don't respect my language. Okay, let's move on. Anyway, let's get straight onto things. What I have started doing is making changes for me. So today, what I'm drinking is one of the sachets from the Lift by Juice Plus. I have decided to replace my coffee addiction. Yeah, exactly. My choice. And you also have to respect the fact that I am an adult with capacity. That you are not the only person. He doesn't know me. I know, lawyer. So when somebody actually goes onto a platform and goes straight, you don't respect your language. Now that riles me because that's something I work really hard to protect. But he doesn't know me, we will leave it that way. Or Hineba, go look me up a little bit. A little bit of background search will tell you who I am, and you will find how aggressively patriotic I am, and especially with the language. Anyway, I am replacing coffee for this. The reason why I am replacing coffee for this is that much as I like and don't like coffee, I know that too much of the coffee will be an issue. Astiwell, good morning. But I also know that there are some mornings that I do need the caffeine fix. I am here today. We stayed for parents' evening yesterday. I am staying again for parents' meetings today. But today, even worse than yesterday. All the classes I teach are actually having sports day. So I came from duty on the field. I'm going to go back on duty in another, and then I went for duty outside again. I only have another 10 minutes. And then I need to make my way back to the field to go chase kids running. And when I've done all those high energy things, at the end of the day, I'm going to sit here and wait for parents, to talk to parents, sitting on my behind until 6:30 p.m. When I finally make it home, it's going to be about 7. Today, I'm staying in Abu Dhabi as well. I didn't sleep in my bed. And I don't sleep well in strange beds anyway. And because I don't sleep well in strange beds anyway, my sleep was not great. I do need a lift. I need a pick-me-up. I need something which gives me energy. Nanaya, good morning, George. So I heard about you know me. Oh, okay, good. If you know me, then that statement is even more off. Because you should know me. You should know what I represent then. Because I think after 1 week of encountering me, you would know what I speak and don't speak. Godson, I'm well. I'm really good. That's the thing with our realities. Our realities are difficult. Unlike some places where they have a common language and you can defer and opt to use that common language, we don't have a common language. And I do have people who are Ghanaians who love what I do but don't understand anything. Besides, what I'm actually discussing right now is not a Ghanaian issue. When I started, I actually said that it should have been on my transformations page. And my transformations page is 100% English medium, so people can access. So yeah, let's get back on here. I am not drinking coffee. I am drinking this stuff. This stuff is called Lift, and it contains guava, it contains lemon peel, it contains mango, a mango peel. These things all contain essential oils, vitamins and nutrients that I will not get from my diet today. I'm going to stay here till 6, so probably lunchtime I'm going to go to the school canteen. I will find whatever they have. I will try really hard to reduce my glycemic load. So I might not do the rices or the pastas, but goodness, I still do need some carbohydrate fix. If I can, I will get a bowl of steamed vegetables, but I will add the fish. I am sure at some point I will be hungry, so school will provide pastries and stuff. I'll eat some of that. But if you listen to any of those, it's quite difficult to get all the nutrients I need in. So even whilst I get my caffeine fix, I like the idea that I'm getting some essential minerals and oils via what I'm drinking to wake myself up. So, Lift by Juice Plus goes in. Somebody asked me, so why does somebody like you do supplements? I'm like, actually, somebody like me clearly understands supplementing because I do know the deficit in my diet. My diet is about 80-85% carbohydrates, even when I try to reduce it. The rest of it, now I have really heavily restricted the proteins. But at some point, I was stupidly eating way too much proteins because I wanted to replace carbohydrate for proteins. And I did not quite understand what the overload of proteins could do to me. And so I have gone back. I've gone back to basics. I've gone back to look at nutrition. I've realized what I need to take off and what can stay. Some of the carbohydrates can stay, but not a lot of it. The proteins, I have to be very careful, especially with red meat. So red meat has gone right down. And if I'm going to eat red meat, I eat red meat which is cooked well, in the hope that in that cooking process, the amino acid load that I can overload sometimes, I'm able to minimize. I am adding a berry blend because I don't eat a lot of berries. Even when I go choosing fruits, the berries, I don't do well with them. When I choose fruits, you find me doing a lot of citrus. You'd find me do the mangoes. I would do pineapples. Occasionally, I might do a guava. And then I have all sorts of things to complain about. It has too many seeds. It has this. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't buy star fruits. Oh, Lawyer everybody, God bless you. Share for me. Because even I can't share. I can't share this to anywhere. I am so tied in. I'm so restricted. But people ask me a lot of questions about what I'm doing. And for that reason, I felt it was easier just to demonstrate, explain in 15-20 minutes the basics behind it. I am supplementing with the berry blend. I chose the berry blend because I know that the berries contain antioxidants. I have done a lot of damage to cells already, and part of the repair process would require help to undo some of the oxidation I had done from carelessness. So I do need antioxidants. So I took the berry blend for that. I do a lot of turmeric and a lot of ginger in what I eat and drink. Again, because turmeric contains carotene, beta carotene, and I desperately need beta carotene to help me in the removal of cholesterol from circulation in my blood. I am doing a lot of things that contain soluble fiber, because soluble fiber, good morning, Sister Rebecca. Soluble fiber, like beta carotene, is very helpful in trapping and removal of cholesterol from circulation, which is what my ultimate agenda is. So I do the ginger. Ginger is not just because it contains stuff that I like, it's because it is an anti-inflammatory. And inflammation is one of the things that carelessness does to your body. Nanaya, good morning. So after years of carelessness, I have been living with inflammation for a bit. I have to be very careful in my choice of diet so that what I eat now helps me to repair the damage I did before. So I had problems with gas. Bloating was a common existence for me. When I start using the ginger and turmeric, especially when I make drinks out of them, and I have it regularly, that inflammation calms. The gas in my gut calms down. It's one of the reasons why the size of my belly reduces, because the inflammation reduces, the swelling and the gas it produces also calms down. So if you find yourself with gas circulating all the time, if you find that you are farting unnecessarily, and it's very frequent, it might suggest that you have inflammation of the gut. And one of the things to do to calm that is to use the turmeric and ginger combination. So I'm eating and drinking those. The other thing which I get from Juice Plus was the omega blend. Again, the benefits of omega-3 do not need me to explain. But then I found something which contains 5 blends of omega, and I thought, you know what? If omega-3 is good, then omega-3, 6, 7, 9 has to be even better. And it really is. So somebody asked me yesterday, Amma, why is it that most people recommend the omega for everything? Is it like a baby draw? No, it's not. The omega blends and the berry capsules and the fruit capsules, they will have different effects in different people because they are restorative. So if my problem was sugar level regulation, because I'm not producing insulin, or I had become intolerant, insensitive to insulin, then restoration might be to make my cells more sensitive to insulin. So the same things might make me sensitive to insulin. It might help somebody else to produce more HDLs, which remove cholesterol from circulation, because we all have nutrients available. So your nutrients will be used to remove cholesterol. Somebody else's nutrients would be used. Hello. Okay. Guys, give me 1 minute. Girls, I am on camera, so just stay behind. Don't come that close. I had it open all day yesterday and you never came. And today that I've closed it, you come. Hi, dear.
Miss, I wanted to ask something for Thursday. Miss, we have your first lesson, right? I think sports day.
You have me just before the end of the day.
Oh. Yeah, okay, Miss.
Nah.
Miss, so on Thursday, Miss, if I bring cookies, can we eat here? It's like after the sports day, so we get calories.
I like the argument. After sports day, yeah, you can keep food here and eat it afterwards, as long as you don't leave a mess for the cleaners. Not a problem. Yeah, you can come store food. Oh, Shamsa, I can't find it. Wait. I actually opened it yesterday. Had it open the whole day. And then this morning I thought, well, she would not come. I closed it. Let's see. Give me 5 minutes. Come back in 5 and let's see if I've got it open. Okay? I always have to go the very long way of getting the passwords activated. Alright guys, do forgive me. We all have to remember I am at work. Prime mandate is still work. So when something comes up from work, I will have to address it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So good morning, Sister Mimi. You haven't missed much. I was just explaining the principle behind what I'm doing. I thought I had explained it really well, but every now and again I still get people asking me fundamental questions about, Amma, why are you doing what you are doing and why does it work? So I'm just explaining. Why is it, yesterday's question I got is that why is it that the same omega can help some people with cholesterol management, and it also works for people who are diabetic, and it works for, and I'm trying to explain the premise. What it is a simple source of nutrients. Your body will use nutrients for whatever it needs nutrients for. So if your body needs nutrients in order to control blood sugar, then when you have nutrients, your blood sugar will be controlled. If my body needs to control cholesterol, then when I have enough nutrients, my body would make the substances which are used to control my cholesterol. When I flood my system with nutrients, if my problem was growth, my body will use those nutrients to grow. If I have the nutrients available and the priority for my body is to repair, then my body will use these nutrients to repair. So the same thing can be used by different bodies to achieve different things because each person's body has different priorities. I've seen people who've managed to control depression. And this was the actual inquiry. How can nutrition be used for depression management? And I'm like, do you understand what causes depression? Do you know that depression is when you do not produce the chemicals your body needs to lift your mood? That's when you are depressed. The rest of us are not depressed because our body has the nutrients, it has the capacity to produce all the chemicals which are used to maintain happiness and to lift your mood and to manage your feelings. When your body is incapable of making those making those chemicals and substances, that's when your doctor might prescribe you top up of those things. But it is better if you provided the nutrients for your body to make original ones and not synthetic ones. And that's a general thing. That's the basic premise of this. Solving your problem by putting as many resources available to your body as possible. That's it. So yes, I'm drinking my smoothie. I get a lot of things from the fruits. I put some vegetables in, so I also get the nutrients from the vegetables. I know I don't do well with the berries, so I add my juice plus berry blend. Then I take my omega blend, When I haven't got enough vegetables in, I will put the vegetable blend in. When my fruit intake is restricted for whatever reason, I will put the fruit blend in. And that's it. I think it might be a whole access issue. I can't open it. I found the link, but it's not opening.
Do you remember fruit grade?
Habibti. After 5 classes, I don't even remember my name. Come try again during lunch, okay? Anyway, so I intended not to go beyond 10 minutes. I've got to go on duty now. I just wanted to explain it. I hope that this explanation makes it clearer for some people. If it's not, shoot me those questions yet again. Ask me specific things and I'll answer as much as I know. And if I can't answer it, I'll tell you where to look. There's a lot of clinical researches which have been done. Don't rely on one company's research. You go and look up diet and nutrition. Understand what needs to be eaten. Understand what these nutrients are used for, and you will understand why major diseases are actually caused by malnutrition, either overeating a particular nutrient or not having enough of some. Make sure that you are regulating what goes in. Make sure that you're putting in as much variety as you can so that your body has as many to select from. And if you give your body options to select, chances are that they will select what you need and will help you to live a fuller life, a healthier life with more energy and less pain. Pain is usually one of the signs of inflammation. So when you see pain in places, so people are using these things to manage arthritis. And I get questions, how can you use it to manage pain? Well, pain is a result of inflammation. So if you do anything which reduces the inflammation, then the symptom of the inflammation would also reduce. You will not feel as much pain because what causes the pain is being dealt with. What causes the pain is being tackled. I think that's a simple enough explanation. Let's leave it here. I'll be back here I have an hour's duty. So when I finish and you've got any particular questions, I will switch it back on and I will explain. But invite people, tell people the reasons why people are doing other things. Check things out. And if it could help you, please, don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until an illness occurs before you decide to do something about it. Sometimes you make good choices, but too late. That doesn't help. We are all guilty of it. May the Lord help us so we know the emergencies we live and face each day, and we can take sensible action to avert them. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day and make better choices with what you eat and don't eat today.